don't know, a big circle around the 05, it would be it'd be an easier game to try to find where you couldn't get signal into it on an HT. Well, the 05 works really well down here.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, are you on the Williamsburg side of the 050?
Yeah, since I'm down here 20 miles from Williamsburg.
All right, let's do this one till we run out of string and then go to the 050, Roger.
So that's fine.
I've got 6 lights. I think this one will probably hang in there for at least maybe 15, 20 minutes. What are you doing, about 89 miles an hour?
Right on the interstate, yeah. I'm out here going across Laurel Lake and a low spot right here. Almost exit 29, almost on the interstate, and then I'll be doing about 78 miles an hour after that, as fast as legally possible.
Well, that's over legally possible, isn't it?
Roger, but you get your 10. I ain't never been pulled over at 8 miles an hour over, so I'll probably stay with that.
All right, now I've gone to the effort of getting all my studio lights up and comb my hair and all that stuff, you know. So I'm loaded for bear for the next 2 hours.
Roger that. Well, that's a good deal right there. Putting the antenna up later on today. Reminds me, I got an antenna I need to get Richard to help me bring down and some hardline off the old water tank site there in town, I guess, man. Nobody's going to use it, so I might as well bring that equipment back to the house and start having fun with it myself.
Roger, how tall's the water tower? Yeah, how tall is the water tower?
No, it's over there where it used to be, over to a water tank site where the London repeater used to be and where mine used to sit there for a minute, but internet was a problem, but now internet's been solved over there, so it's kind of a bird of a different feather, but again, now I've got my repeater at the house, and I can transmit better from my back porch than I was able to do from over there in town. So, I mean, it's a kind of a no-brainer. I mean, to leave it where it is. It's doing a fine job from the house.
Roger, Roger. Now, I ask you, how tall is the water tower, and then how tall is your tower at the house?
It's not on a water tower, but it's right beside the water tower. It's like 100 foot, 110 feet or something there. And that's about the same I've got at the house. I don't know, you checked out the video on YouTube, ain't you?
No, I haven't had a chance yet, man. I've been running full tilt, been having a lot of good conditions, you know. I've been into Mount Mitchell there 3 or 4 times, and that's always a pleasure to hit that repeater, man. You can't get much higher than that on the repeater antenna-wise unless you catch a passing satellite.
KC9VKV on YouTube, or it's on my QRZ page, either one there. But yeah, I like to think my house is about as good as a lot of repeater sites. I mean, that's why I put up that big tower there. I sit in a pretty good spot there, and then got that RON 45. I don't know, I probably could put another 10 antennas on my tower and not be worried about it structurally.
Roger, we were playing on a repeater tower yesterday, put up a 5-element beam and comparing a 5-element beam with a GP9. This was on 70 centimeters.
We'll go over to the 05 if you want there. I don't hear anybody over there talking on it anyway. We won't be in the way.
Sounds good to me. KC9VKV, QSY to 444050.
Yeah, 4FRJ, QSY.
KC. Whoop.
Juliet, KI4FRJ.
I forgot what frequency this was. KC9VKV. You copy pretty good there?
This morning, I don't have the normal strong signal I got on it, and it's probably my antenna. Been a while since I've used 440 much. But anyway, good morning and all that stuff and things. And yeah, you ever get a chance, just Google up KI4FRJ on YouTube, man. Ain't but one, I don't think there ain't but like one, maybe two videos there, grand total. And the video ain't but about 30 seconds. It don't take long. It ain't that big a tower.
Roger that. I'll have to check it out, man. Like I say, I've just been running so hard, you know. What I ain't rebuilding, you know, I'm using with conditions being as good as they have been here in the last few weeks, man. I've been really busy. You know, it's kind of a thing where you got to take advantage of the conditions as they come along, you know.
KB4BTJBL91.5. Speaking of, I don't think I get near enough credit for talking to Mobile, Alabama Simplex, man. That was that was still all the way back in December, but I'm still pretty stoked over that. I mean, you know, it ain't every day I talk to Arkansas Simplex, carry on a conversation for an hour and a half with Memphis. That was a good band opening right there.
Roger. What do you think distance to target was on that QSO?
Out there around 5 going on 600 miles down to Mobile, Alabama, and those were semi-confirmed contacts, I guess. You know what I mean? I sent them a QRZ card or whatever, and they clicked on it or whatever, and I got the little thing that said that they, you know, that they confirmed that they made the contact or whatever. So those were some long distance ones. I talked down to the Florida-Georgia line, over by the Alabama side. All over, man, down in the Carolinas. The band opened up, man. I saw that big stick there at the house, man, and it was working pretty good, man. Like I said, to carry on a conversation with a base station in Memphis for an hour, that was a good band opening. Talked on a Montgomery, Alabama repeater for 30 minutes straight.
Oh, that's great, man. That is great. And what antenna was it you were using?
That Hustler, the one the repeater's on. I'm wanting to switch that repeater around and put it on one of them lower profile antennas, and I'm thinking about starting to use that big. But then I got my 11 element beam I put up, and that may even outdo the big cylindrical. But that 20-foot cylindrical on top of the tower there, 120 foot up, man. I don't know. Like I say, you know, it's in, and I'm not in a half bad spot, so I mean, it was working. It works pretty all right. I got a good takeoff, man. It goes. I got a long ways. Even if I ain't the highest thing around, I got a long ways before the RF starts hitting obstructions. Good run and go.
Oh, Roger. You know, and those GP9s and those high-gain VHF collinears, they don't actually need super height because of their radiation pattern. If you get, you know, 20, 30 feet in the air, they do really well. That's what I'm going to find out. I'm going to be doing some testing between this GP9 at about 35 feet. Well, plus antenna, you know, so probably about for about 50 feet, I guess, and the stack 7s and the single 7s, just to see. And already, last night I was just playing around. Like I say, this GP9 is only 2.5 feet off the ground, and I was getting the same thing 2 lights back from Bonneville on the GP9 at 2.5 feet off the ground, as I was with my stack 7s at about 35 feet. So I get a little altitude on that GP9. It should be interesting. What's the gain factor on your Hustler?
I know it's like 6 dB. It's not the biggest dB, but It's a commercial Hustler antenna. It's a Hotel X-Ray 6.
Roger. I was looking at that 8X550 or something like that, you know. It's trying to find a reasonable comparison between two antennas. GP9s, we've had a whole lot of problems with GP9s, you know, and I was thinking of looking for somewhat a better comparable kind of antenna, Roger.
A Hustler. It's a Hustler HX6, serial number 75.
HX, God, I can't even say it, HX6?
Correct. Yep. There ain't even like, you can't even find hardly much on the internet about it or whatever. You can find like where they're trying to sell it or whatever, but, or like their brochure and pamphlet and stuff, but as far as people talking about it and using it, you don't find much in it. I don't know, man. I don't know, like I said, mine's serial number 75. They ain't made a whole lot of them, I guess. I don't know. It's $1,000 antenna.
Yeah, it's surprising they didn't put a couple of zeros in front of that, or at least one zero in front of that, you know. Nobody wants to admit that they've only built 65, I mean, by today's standards anyway. This is KC9VKV and QSO with KR4FRJ on his way to work over the river and through the dale. How many miles are you going to put in your car today, round trip?
Give me a minute here. I can pull it up and give you a more exacting number here. Google. Elizabethton, Tennessee. Directions. Google's pulling it up. So it's about 185 miles. So about 370 today.
Roger. Now we're going to have to chart a course after Will's Williamsburg. We're going to have to chart a course. Will Will's Williamsburg 050 take you to where you're going, or we need to find some place in La Follette, or what?
It'll take me a long way down through here. Will's take me a long way down through here for quite some time, another 15-20 minutes at least, maybe longer than that. And if I had Fusion in here, his Fusion machine would carry a bunch of that trip, because I mean, it seems from my general non-professional observation, yeah, like that, my non-professional observation says that it's just like the book says. It's about 25% bigger than its UHF brother. So, and that's the one I'm on right now. So, if you get 25% more than this beast, well then, I mean, there you go. I mean, it goes way on out through there.
Roger, Roger. Now, I don't know if Will believes me or not, but I copy the mail on the 700 here. I get 3 to 4 lights on his digital signal here, which is 180 miles away. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, so that's what I'm, yeah, so you see what I'm saying. So, and it carries down south like a monster too down through there. It's just, I mean, I ought to break down and put my Fusion radio in here since I don't use it at the house that much, and nobody, my repeater's a Fusion machine, but nobody talks on it analog, so if they don't get much analog, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but it gets very little, very sparse traffic on analog, so it's even sparser on the digital, but it's all fusioned up and all this and that and the other. We just need more active operators around here.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Well, I'm not much into digital, man. I'll tell you right now. It's something about the audio quality. It seems to me, and I'm only speaking from an audiophile point of view, that the overtones and undertones are missing on the digital. Now, I don't want to start a war here, you know, and everybody, that's the thing about amateur radio, everybody can, you know, mix their own soup and enjoy the taste, and my taste just lends towards, you know, analog, and particularly wideband analog FM, and ideally 2-meter, you know, I'm just a 2-meter junkie, I guess.
Yeah, Roger. Well, the Fusion falls under all the categories you just mentioned there, FM, wide-banded, and stuff. Fusion has pretty good audio quality. I don't know. DMR sounds pretty good, too. DMR's got a kind of a warble to it. I'm not really a fan. There's definitely a twang to it. But now the Fusion stuff, it sounds all right. But, I don't know. It's probably I don't know, the harder they are to mess with, and I don't know, then the more you can do with them, I guess. I don't know, you know, you can do a lot more with DMRs than you can Fusion, but then again, it's a lot harder to mess with, or a lot more in-depth to mess with, maybe. So, but, yeah, but to each his own, you know what I mean? But digital is going to be a natural progression. I mean, as technology moves forward, if we're in a technology-based format here, and some of the technology may be going towards the older this or that, or even the newer or whatever. But if the game is a technology game we're in, and digital is the newest technology, well, it's bound to be part of it. Whether you know, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's you know. But I'm talking analog right now, so there are shows to go. You. KC9VKV, been a minute on that. KB4BTKDL91.5.
Roger, but probably the truth be known, you would be on the 146-700 digital right at this moment if you happen to have that radio.
Yeah, Roger, and the radio I'm on right now is scanning digital on the other half, or scanning as it scans around. It's coming across the D-Star side. I had this radio here since 2820. Was kind of a new deal. They've since had a few other models since then, but I always like my, you know, do you remember that on the show Friends, whenever Joey talked about that TV that appeared as if out of nowhere? Well, that's like my radio. I got the head units mounted in the glass case. So you reach up, touch the glass case, and it comes down, and then there's the faceplate for the radio hid inside the sunglass visor on the roof, or the top of the truck.
Yeah, next stop is Beam Me Up, Scotty. Hey, you know, about digital, I guess my problem is that my first encounter with digital was the Motorola Rototurbo or Turbo Radio or whatever that was, and that was, I don't know, the audio just, you know, reminded me of a Share record pretty much.
But I must admit, I don't miss static. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If they're in it, they're in it. If they ain't kind of, that don't mean that they're in a fringe, that they're in and out and in and out and in and out. That's, you know, but if you've got them at, you know, my best description of the difference between analog and digital is in the busy light to 4 bars. You know what I mean? If you're listening to an analog machine and it comes in at 2 bars or at a busy light, well, you can hear it. You can tell that it's far away. Whereas with the digital, if they're in it at 2 bars, they might as well be at 60 plus plus. And if they're in it at 60 plus plus, it don't sound no different than they're in it at a busy light. You know what I mean? So once you've got the capture on the receive and you're in it, well then you know what I mean, you know, you can't tell distance, I guess, by tone quality.
Exactly. Quality is the point, and I can tell more in a hang time than I can any other way. Hang time on the end of a transmission, I can tell 1,000 things about that signal.
while I'm talking on D-Star, I can be sending an image at the same time. And when I key down again, it'll pick up and finish off the image where I left off last. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do a whole lot. Now, there's a lot of things, you know what I mean, that a skilled analog operator brings to the table that he could use analog to his benefit, but there's no way analog can do the stuff. I mean, it's not sending, the call signs are not being transmitted, your GPS locations, your distance, your speed of travel, your telemetry, you know what I mean, all that stuff is, you know what I mean, is not being brung along with the analog side. Now, I guess if you're on APRS, well, it could be, I guess, or whatever, but still, analog can't, you know, well, D-Star, you know, I mean, you send a picture at the same time you're talking. Or you can just send a picture through a dead key, you know, whichever, and on the analog side would still have the hash. It wouldn't be truly a dead key, but for the D-Star users, it would appear as a dead key. And, you know, or you can just, you know, send your image along while you're talking, which is my, you know, I mean, you know, I'm kind of long-winded anyway, man, and in the time that I've been on the key this time here, I could have sent an image, and, you know, a picture being worth 1,000 words, well, then look how much more efficient that the key down could have been with another 1,000 words besides the ones I've been blathering. KI4FRJ.
KC9VKV, and anybody's got traffic or want to jump in, feel free. Yeah, but Billy, the thing is, how many pictures did you actually send in that time that you were tooling down I-40 at 85 miles an hour, you know? I mean, and sending pictures at 85 miles an hour, is that somewhat akin to almost texting?
Yeah, but if you go down that road, touching the microphone or any distracted driving would count. At what level? See, now you're trying to, not trying, but you could be sparsing up at what level it is. But now, as far as taking a picture and sending images going down the road, the fusion radios come with a microphone right on the top of the microphone where normally the rack is, there's the eyeball for your camera. And you just point your microphone and hit click and tell it to send, and it'll take the picture and send it right there. No problem going down the road.
Yeah, I hear you and all, and to each his own, and Eddie Howard and all that stuff. You know, sometimes I don't want all that information to be passed along, you know. I don't want people to know precisely at what mile marker I'm traversing in case I might have an enemy out there with a rifle that decides, oh, well, I see where he is. Yeah.
Check in on the next Thursday night, 9 p.m.
It's an off and on function. It's not an all or nothing. But no, I mean, there's some stuff that the digital brings to the table, man, that is really nifty and neat. It's, you know what I mean? So it's not just about the conversation, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, it's the topics and you know what I mean? I don't know. I've listened to old timers sounding terrible out there because I was curious of what they had to say. And you know what I mean? I've listened right through whatever kind of transmission. But yeah, the digital brings a lot to the table, man. But no, I don't have the Fusion in my mobile, but the D-Star will send images, and I've done it from the house sitting there, you know. And for what it's worth, the latest radios are, like my radio at the house is intertwined with my Android device, my tablet or my phone. And that picture I was talking about sending on D-Star, I took it, just grabbed my phone, turned the app on, told it I wanted to take a picture, took a picture and hit send, and the radio keyed up and started sending the picture.
Yeah, roger that, roger that. All right, now you are a digitally inclined individual, okay? And I'm thinking about branching out on my QSOs to do some video logs in the field of various things. First thing I want to do is do a video of my my antenna array here at the house, you know, 7 VHF locations, you know, the stack 7, stack 20, the single 26, the 3 dipoles, you know, just bird hell. And I wanted to do that, and I was thinking, I saw at Wally World they had a tablet there that had a front-facing and a rear-facing camera, and the question is, will it record video, audio simultaneous within the tablet itself?
conference or something like that, and then over-reporting everything. But yes, is the short answer, yeah. Yeah, it'll record like crazy. I mean, it'll record it and send it or do it. Yeah, but yes is the short answer.
Roger, Roger. And would you happen to know what format it would be recording in, digitally?
It's either going to be a JPEG or an MPEG, I would imagine.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so I could put that right into my my video editor in Sally Forth with what I had to do. Yeah, I'm on my QSO-VLOGs, like right now, I'm digitally recording through the computer, and it does a pretty good job. The other day, man, it gummed up and I lost part of a QSO, but normally it does real well, and I have the editor that I can put stuff into and just clean up the front and back, and I don't even think it's down a generation. It just manhandles the basic format, whatever it was. But I do have now just recently purchased a $10 wireless mouse, so I can begin the QSOs, and in the QSOs, if I think about it, instead of having to be right up in camera with the mouse to go hit capture, I can facade myself back in the normal mode and kind of start and stop the recording without being right up in the camera, because the camera's mounted on top of the monitor. It's a long story.
KB4PTJBL91.5.
8FRJ to get in sync there. Yeah. You'll have a ball with that tablet, man. I mean, you set the tablet up to where it'll take a picture or start the video when you say smile. It'll go 1, 2, click. Smile. And you click. It'll take the picture. Yeah. So you'll have a ball with the tablet.
Roger, I got this one now. It's got a real small little monitor, and you can't even. It's only got a forward-facing camera, and the image is so weak that when you get outside, the outside lighting just overwhelms being able to see what even the frame is. This is KC9VKV and QSO with KI4FRJ on his way to down the road. And anybody that's got any traffic or whatever, they're welcome to just jump in. We'll take a stop or whatever we need to do. And nothing heard. This is KC9VKV. And exactly where is it, Billy, that you're going, pretty much?
To the bottom right corner of Tennessee. I'm going to Bristol and then turning off and dropping down to the bottom right corner, whereas Bristol would be the top right. I'm going to the right up against the bottom of the Smoky Mountains there, I guess. Elizabethton.
So, I mean, I don't mean to rush anything, but I want to have a plan here. Where do we go from the 050? What would be a logical choice? Would you copy the mail on Mount Mitchell if it were open?
Possibly not. I don't know the lay of the land through there that good.
Roger, you'd be going bottom right, so will the follow work?
Roger, that'll work for a while. That'll work for quite a while. I mean, that's, those are some of the bigger machines around this part of the country.
How close do you come to Nashville? Cause oh gosh, I never can remember that opening there. A couple right around the Gallatin are open. I don't know if you head that far west. Tompkinsville was open, but that's not a high-profile repeater there.
The other way. You know, going straight down 75, gets to Knoxville and hanging a left. Well, for me, it'd be a left. If you're looking at a map, it'd be a right and head east.
Well, do you drive facing the rear? You do it all with mirrors, right? You face where you're coming from and look forward through a mirror. I know how you cell phone technicians are, man.
GPS is one on my phone and one on the dash, both running. But to get to Knoxville in the first part of it, I ain't really got to have all that fired up. I generally know where I'm going is over yonder, and I'll just head that way. And then as I get, you know, more time and a freehand, I'll put in the exact lats, logs, or the address, and then, you know, dial it in, get a little bit closer. But I get an email every night with the address and stuff on it, and you click on that, and it'll take you right to Google on your phone, and that'll get you right real close.
Roger. So eventually, somewhere down the road, you will wind up on a hilltop with a cell tower on it, and in the middle of nowhere.
Roger. Or like yesterday, right in the middle of everything, right across the street from the big ball there at the World, what was that, the World's Fair in Knoxville, whatever. Yeah, you know, it goes from one extreme to the other. Yep, and all points between. But usually on a high spot, man. Usually on an elevated position.
Roger, Roger. And just to clarify now, I'm trying to visualize you arriving at this location, and what you'll be doing is trying to make some order of the chaos that all the bigwig engineers left when they finished doing whatever they did.
I'll be reconfiguring and doing a basic call test of the LTE network is what I'll be doing. More than likely it'll be adding the 1900 megahertz. When I get there, there'll be 700 megahertz running, and when I leave there'll be 700 megahertz running again on a different unit, but then that unit will also have 1900 plugged in and tested and then turned back off until their launch date whenever they turn up a set amount of them or a block of them all together. But yeah, but the most interesting part of that whole deal is, you know, you're navigating your GPS along and you're in this little town in the middle of somewhere, you know, because it's not nowhere to them, it's somewhere. It's their home and their best place ever. So in the middle of somewhere there, you're just going up on it, you're going past the Tasty Freeze or whatever, and you look in front of you, and the biggest, gnarliest, straight uppest mountain in the whole town has got a cell site sitting right on it. And you look back down at your little Toyota Matrix, you're rolling in, and you go, I've got to take this to there.
Roger, Roger. Now, the question is, are you four-wheel drive, or did they give you chains?
Running in my truck, which is all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and then locks up all. But, yeah, I just run in the truck. But still, man, it's the whole deal is like, you know, everything is fine, everything is good, you're on course, your little GPS is lined up, and then you look in front of you, and the most ominous mountain in town is the one that the cell site's on. And there's still this feeling of, I've got to go from here to there.
Roger, and I'm sure the cell phone tower looks like maybe a quarter of a matchstick off in the distance.
I'd say there ain't but about 2 or 3 cell site towers around you, anywhere around Louisville area or whatever, that you'll see that I ain't been to. You know what I mean? All them Floyd's knobs, all those ones around town that are on the electric poles or whatever. I've been to about every cell site in the state of Kentucky, and that's a tall claim. Maybe, no, most of them. Kentucky, but especially, you know, I don't know, man, all over Kentucky, man. If there's a cell site, I've worked for years around Kentucky, site to site to site, and, you know, starting to get that way down towards, you know, down towards the south here. As I roll down the interstate and I look out in the distance, I see cell towers out through here off the mountain up here, and I've been to a bunch of them. Not everyone yet in Tennessee, but every day I go to one more or a couple more.
All right, you were kind of impulse noise on the one before this. So are you a hilltop now? Are you on straight land, or what's your topography?
2,121 feet above sea level on Jellicoe Mountain right now.
Roger that, roger that. Well, you're going to be all right for a while, I guess. You will take a downturn there. What would be your lowest altitude, would you imagine?
Not sure. You know, when you come off the mountain, I don't know. It's not very high there at Jellicoe when you start up. I don't know. You know, in Tennessee, the average terrain's really not really a really good reference because there's so big a mountain that's so low that where the middle would be at, there's really not much. Just as you're passing the middle to head on up or down, I guess. But I don't know what the low point is. I'll run out of this one about Lake City or whatever once you come down off and you get down to La Follette and go a little bit farther on out past the bottom of the mountain. The 05 starts, you know, breaking up below there.
All right, so when the 05 breaks up, how many miles will you be from La Follette?
I'll be on the other side of La Follette, which the La Follette repeater is really probably not La Follette. It's probably Cross Mountain is the one you're referring to. You know, the address may be La Follette or whatever, but most of the big ones that are right through here are over there on Cross Mountain or that area. There's the 360. That's another monster there. You ever monitor it much?
Yeah, Roger. 470 is the one we'll probably work or try, Roger. I assume you got that one?
Yeah, you can't be in this part of the country and not have that one in your radio in some form or another. I mean, or know of it. I mean, it's probably one of the, you know, at any given time, depending on how the band's working, whatever, it's probably one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest one in this area.
Roger, that's 238 miles for me, direct. But it was open this morning, 4 or 5 lights. Let me check it real quick. Hang on. Yeah, I got 2 lights on it right now.
Look out the right. Well, I got to go a little bit farther on down the mountain, but if I get on up there a little bit and look off on the right, you can see Cross Mountain, you know, from over here on the interstate.
Yeah, you want to test it out real quick?
Look, I heard you junket over there. I'm sure I can get in. I'm pretty sure I can get into it. If I'm getting in this one, I sure can get into the other one right over here. I'm closer to it.
All right, let's say hello on that one, then back to this one. KC9VKV. Roger, 3 lights. Back to the 050. Roger, let's go back to the 050. KC9VKV.
Yeah, he was a little noisy on that one there. Might need to jiggle the beams or something, or whatever the case was there. But this one here's still working really good for me.
Yeah, I was just looking for a potential backup later. Yeah, that's 238 miles, man. I'm doing it, you know, I'm trying.
Complaining, I was just, you know, giving you the report. You know, don't hate the messenger.
Well, now you were a heck of a lot cleaner on it than you were just now. You must be down between two mountains.
Start breaking up about here. That's a long ways to go, man, for a mobile to base station conversation anyway there. So you're really doing a really good job there.
All right, are you expecting to run out of string shortly on the 05?
Again, sporadic from here on out. I don't know about too sporadic, but I mean, it'll have some shadowing coming on before too long, which is more than acceptable with all things considered, with all the mountains and everything going on.
Roger, Roger, but I'm looking for clean QSO there, and you're pretty impulsive right now. We'll hang, but be ready to jump to the 470, Roger.
Sure, we may have to just say 73s too, bad as I hate to or whatever, but I couldn't hear you too good on the 05, and tell me you're not hearing me too good on this one, I guess. Need to work on the 440 side of my antenna, I guess.
Gosh, I had a good copy on you on the 470, man. Was it me or the repeater?
Yeah, it was you. I couldn't get a very good copy on you. That's what I said. Needed to jiggle your beams or something or whatever. You wasn't right on it or something. Wasn't that good. But no, I definitely got the repeater. I mean, like I said, if I look over here to the right, about 1,000 foot higher, I'm at 1,800 feet. So actually, about 2,000 foot higher on this mountain over here, I can see the cross mountain mission, the 470. I can see the tower it's on.
Roger. Well, the thing was, I was on my single 7, and I got all I had to do was, my audio feed is coming off, right now it's coming off UHF, and I've got a 6-position rotary switch to select audio to record, and it's on UHF right now, and I have to reach over and go to VHF and VHF radio and antenna and everything. So I didn't want to shift actually from where I was. I just wanted to make sure I had some kind of a copy on you. But I had a really good copy on you, so that's the important thing, man. I'm just, as far as the recording, but you need to be able to hear me enough to be able to respond to some of my tricky questions, I don't want it to drift into one of those plausible denial things where you can only copy about every third word I say, and then you think I said one thing and I actually said something else. Roger, Roger.
I figured you'd had a better shot at it than you was throwing right then. That's what I was saying. Jiggle your beams a little or something there, because I figured you could dial it in better than you was there. Yeah. Yeah, I know that's a long shot, man. That's a good mountain though. It's on, man. That's a big one right there. When I get back home, remind me, and I'll give you a list of some of the other ones that are around there that are in the 4,000 foot club. This one here, I believe, this one here is in the 2,000 foot club, and about 21 real close to, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And then the 470, it's in the 3,600 foot. And then you get down around the Tennessee state line, around the Carolinas or whatever, and there's a few of them down through there in the 4,000 foot club.
Roger. Then you tangle with the daddy of them all, Mount Mitchell, 6,600 feet, man. Get a nosebleed every time I work that one. I just had a cross mountain ID, only had about 2 lights on it, but that's on my single 7. Gosh, I hate to have to edit this thing. 2 lights on cross mountain now. Is that you, Kuchek?
But I heard it, but
Roger, Roger. Well, I've still got a. Can you copy this one, okay? Yeah. Well, let's just stay right here. Till we you know, you start going downhill or whatever happens, that we get really marginal, you know. This is KC9VKV in QSO with KI4FRJ as he traverses down to bottom right Tennessee.
Okay, coming down the far side of Jellicoe Mountain. Off to the left, I can see the mile out there in the valley.
Okay, you're on the far side of Jellicoe Mountain. Roger, roger. I'm getting I'm getting about 3 lights back from Cross Mountain right now. Shoot, well, I got to make a decision here because I think you're about to run out of string if you get much lower. You still have a copy?
I was trying to think of another machine here. I think there's another 440 here I can get to. Hang on. I need to. I'm gonna have to scan for it. Give me a second here, or modulate. Whenever you answer, I'll hit scan on the other side of the radio, and maybe I can snag onto another part of this link system.
Link to this. Oh yeah, this one does have some links down there. Let me modulate here just for a second, see if you can find a link. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor recording a QSO with KI4FRJ. This will be posted on YouTube probably by tomorrow morning thereabouts with any luck, and we will it will be under my call sign Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. YouTube search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That'll take you to the QSO-VLOGs, and there's one called List that has 62. We'll have 63 QSOs on it, and this one will be probably number 2, right below Art Bell QSO. And so, Billy, did you have a chance to scan for another link?
KB4BT.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
No luck on the other link, but this one here's coming in pretty good. Now I'm off the mountain. I don't know. It's like I'm down in its foot. I don't know, but it's working pretty good down here at Lake City.
Roger. Yeah, you're solid. Little impulse noise, no picket fence, but little impulse. Sounded really good. Usable for sure. This is the Follett. This is KC9VKV in QSO with KI4FRJ, who is at the moment lost.
Hello, Jimmy. Hope you're doing well, KG4LGL.
Well, good morning. I was in QSO with Billy coming up from London, and we got lost on the other side of Jericho Mountain, Roger. Roger, trying to play them long cards this morning. And Mother Nature's not helping. She's not being as cooperative as she could be, you know. Roger, Roger. I always appreciate the shout there. I love to talk to you guys down that way, and thank you very much. I'm getting about 1.5 lights. This repeater, just a moment ago, I had 4 lights. So, you know, we kind of topsy-turvy this morning on conditions. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. All right, Jimmy. You have a good day. 7-3, my friend. Always good to talk to you. KC4FRJ.
Roger, Roger. 1.5 lights back on this repeater. And thank you very much for the comeback there and the shout. Appreciate it. You have a real good day and enjoy it. And we'll maybe be talking to you later today if Mother Nature permits. 3's that way. Catch you later. KC9VKV. Be clear. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. Got 3 lights now coming back from this repeater. Billy, I was getting a pretty good hit on 147360 there just a minute ago.
Yeah, I don't know what you changed, but it was night and day. Are you good now?
Well, it's all Mother Nature, you know. Sometimes she's not as cooperative as she is at other times. So what's your location now, Billy?
Right now I'm about, I'm going to guess, 12 miles out of Knoxville, north of Knoxville. And going to get up here to Clinton, I think it is, and run through Starbucks and get me a coffee. There's an unpaid advertisement right there, right in the middle of the vlog, but I'm getting me a big mocha.
This is the KB4KY repeater BL151.4.
And that's our local 470 repeater. And we are talking over that one with, oh, that was Bardstown. Yeah, that was Bardstown IDing. But we're not using the Bardstown tone. So we theoretically are talking over Bardstown down to Cross Mountain, which is on the same frequency, but Cross Mountain is running without a PL. Although it says 114.8. But I'm not real sure about that. Anyway, and we're in QSO with KI4FRJ, who is down and going to work on a cell tower down in the bottom right corner of Tennessee. So moments ago, like 10 minutes ago or so, we were on the 050, and he went down the backside of Jericho Mountain. And now we're on the Cross Mountain repeater, and he's anticipating that he's going to abandon this QSO in search of a cup of coffee. Which, now that I think about it, a cup of coffee might be good. So maybe we'll take a break here, and I'll let Billy get a cup of coffee, and I'll go get a cup of coffee, and then we'll see where Mother Nature puts us. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, in QSO with KI4FRJ, and we're going to take a break for the moment. KC9VKV.
KC9VKV, KK4LZF. Yeah, I can read you. I can't tell any difference from the last transmission you made on a GP9. And by the way, there was a station you were talking to earlier who came back on the air just momentarily, just a little bit ago, and I was talking to him while you were adjusting the antenna.
Roger, Roger. Billy, do you copy?
Yeah, I got a copy on you way out here, Interstate 81. I'm not on 40 anymore. I'm on Interstate 81.
God, your audio is so hot. I love it. I had to turn down. You were about 10 over from everybody else, man. I can copy you when I don't have any signal, Roger.
Roger, the irony in it is this radio, everybody said didn't have no audio when I first got it, when I didn't know how to run it. Icon 2820. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's just my D-Star mobile.
Roger, Roger. Well, you obviously performed miracles with the magic screwdriver there, Roger, Roger.
on it, getting the mic gain turned up. I guess, or whatever, but yeah, this has always been a good radio, man. I've never run the dual antennas that it's set up for, but I've always dreamed about that too.
Roger, Roger. Now you have the 360 in memory?
Yeah, somewhere, I'd say.
All right, I'm getting 3 lights back right now from Cross Mountain, this one, but I have noticed that the 360 seems to come up when this one goes down, so there may come a time when we just switch over to the 360 for a moment, Roger.
Roger, that'll be fine. I've still got 79 miles left to go. Looks like I go another 50 miles on Interstate 81, and then I turn right and go south for 30 miles.
Roger, so theoretically this one should take you all the way through, Roger, Roger.
Well, a long ways if it don't. A long ways down through there, you know what I mean? I don't know the footprint on this one that well. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I was just told, it's spotty a little bit. Maybe somebody else can come in and tell us more about the coverage on this one. But it's a beast, but I'm sure it has some shadowing because there's some other big mountains around here.
Roger, Roger, but it has at least mountain effect as far as footprint than any of the others, because this is, you know, 3,600 feet, so you know, you're not going to get much better altitude-wise, I don't think, unless we run it through Mount Mitchell. Let me check Mount Mitchell. I'll be right back. KC9VKV. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Stronger.
KC9VKV. KI4FRJ, KC9VKV.
Mother Nature, she ain't too kind. Well, wait, just drive it. Maybe the cycle will come back around. It'll go around the other way. KI4FRJ, listen.
Roger, I only get 1 light back from Mount Mitchell right now. Only getting 1 light back from Mount Mitchell. That's 400 plus miles. So it makes sense to use this one. Or this area. Let's try the 360. Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger. Thanks so much, guys, for the use of the repeater. We're going to try it on the 360. KC9VKV, QSY 360.
Yep. If you don't like the weather here, just stick around a day or two and it'll be different anyway.
What do you say, dog days?
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that when I was growing up. I don't know where he got his name.
Well, you guys are sounding really good down towards Louisville.
It'll sound very decent down that way.
I'm getting a 3 plus, 3 lights on this repeater. I was tracking a mobile that we had suggested that we would QSY to this frequency. Let me get a hold of him real quick if you could, and then we'll either go back to the other one or figure it out. Roger, Roger.
Sorry, you go ahead there.
KC9VKV, KI4FRJ.
Yes, KI4FRJ. Yeah, I got you in here, sir. Yeah, I got a much better copy on this one. I don't know what the conditions are, but irregardless, they're much more favorable here. I got a pretty good copy on you.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor in QSO with KI4FRJ. And we have marginal signal on the La Follette 147-360. We thought we would switch over from the 147-470 to the 360, but we got fading on the 360. So if you got a copy, Billy, let's try back on the 470, Roger.
Roger, 73's all. Appreciate the use of the repeater. And big high five all the way around. Spinning 73. KC9VKV back to the 470.
Roger, thank you guys so much, and we'll jump out of here. You guys carry on. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you. QSY.
KC9VKV QSY to 470.
K9VKV, KC4LGL, Mobile.
Roger, Roger, KC9VKV.
I heard you on the 3.6. You sound a lot more louder, and your signal was a lot better on 3.6. I was monitoring you by the scanner and listening here. Over.
Roger, Roger. I'm not really set up for, 5 up or 5 down or whatever it was, but I did, conditions are shifting back and forth. I thought that maybe the 360 might hang in there, a little bit better than the 470, but I think, they're, while they may be swapping, as far as signal strengths, by and large, they're swapping at the same rate, so we might as well just stay on the 470. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger on that. Well, yeah, I'm copying you full copy now, so they're about the same. Like I say, they're about right side by side, so I was monitoring you on the 360 by scanner, and then I was sitting here monitoring. So I'll let somebody else, K9FRJ, I believe it is, let him pick it up for Perry, KG4LGL Mobile.
Roger, Roger there, Kevin. Perry, are you still in there?
Still in here, just driving and listening.
Roger, I was just trying to reflect back on what Perry said about these two repeaters. I think he said they were like 100 feet apart. The towers were like 100 feet apart, Roger.
Same altitude. I didn't know if they're exact spacing or whatever, but that's neat to know there. One is better, you see, one is the better transmit to you. It's ironic that I mean, if you're a bit on more than
Now, Billy, you were a little broken on your uplink. Hopefully there's a hilltop in your future. Hopefully there's a hilltop in your future to bring your uplink signal up just a tad. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, well, ain't much I got. I mean, I'm running everything I got in the mobile here, so, man, it's just spotty in here and there. It's the nature of all these big mountains around. But, if you want to try the 146-700, it's Willing, I mean, on the Williamsburg machine up there, whatever, that's Holston Mountain, that's down here close to me also.
Roger, but that 146-700 is digital only.
That's on Will's machine. If you go over Will's machine, there's Holston Mountain, 4,600 feet up. It's an analog machine, no tone.
Oh, really? Okay, let me try that then.
Shoot right over Will's machine. Now, if Will's is in there, you probably won't be able to hear the Holston Mountain. But if Will's machine is dormant, you might be able to overshoot it and come on down this way. KI4FRJ.
All right, I'll try that. Well, how many more miles down the river is that transmitter? Yeah, Billy, you still got a copy? This is KC9VKV, QSY to 146,700 somewhere.
Holston Mountain, Tennessee is where it's located at, 4,600 feet. It's 1,000 foot higher than this one.
I got you. I just got to find it on my notes or go to VFO. Probably simpler to go to VFO.
Peter, everybody. KI4FRJ, and you're just playing radio and going down the road. Both hands.
All right, Billy, I'm going to be QSY to 146,700 VFO.
Wow.
So what we have to do. KC9VKV. This is KC9VKV. Billy, you come back. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. KC9VKV. Billy, KI4FRJ, do you have a copy? KI4FRJ, Billy, you got a copy? This is KC9VKV. I've got two lights on Mount Mitchell. We could try that. That's 400 miles, but I do have two lights on it. Seems to be fairly stable. KI4FRJ, KC9VKV. Transmitting in the blind, Billy, if you got a copy, try Mount Mitchell. Try Mount Mitchell. Get two lights back on Mount Mitchell. Yeah, I'm sure you know what the frequency is. Let me find it for you. At 145, 190, 145, 190, no PL. KC9VKV transmitting in the blind. Billy, if you got a copy, Mount Mitchell, 145, 190, no PL. This is KC9VKV QSY to 145, 190. This is KC9VKV. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. This is KC9VKV.
Jim, you're in there, but really weak, really noisy. 84 KLF.
Roger, Randy. Yeah, it's me. I don't have any conditions. I was tracking a mobile down in your neck of the woods, and we thought we might try and see if the Mount Mitchell repeater might be better for us. Roger, Roger. I just checked this one, and I was getting 2 lights back, so I suggested we might meet up on this one, and now I'm down to 1 light on this one. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I couldn't understand what you were saying before, so let me stand by and you try to catch your other traffic. You're doing pretty good. They can probably hear you. KC9VKV TOS standing by.
Roger, Roger. And to you, bodacious there. 2 lights. 2 lights. Billy on the mobile. KI4FRJ. This is KC9VKV. KI4FRJ mobile. This is KC9VKV. Do you have a copy? Nothing heard. Randy, appreciate the comeback, sir.
Oh, yeah. Just thought I recognized the voice. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well.
Likewise, man. I hope you are doing well. I hope you have, whatever difficulties that you might be having health-wise, I hope that you have those resolved in a meaningful and blessed way, Roger.
I appreciate that. Gonna work on it. Probably come out okay. Hope so. But anyway, just part of living.
Roger, Roger. Well, we're praying for you down this way, and I hope that everything works out perfect. So I'll say 3s for now, Randy. Appreciate the comeback. Roger, Roger.
Good deal. Jim, I'll talk to you later. KC9. KC9VKV. This is KC4TOS. It's clear.
Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV QSY from Mount Mitchell, 145, 190, and we're going to be QSY back to Cross Mountain, 147, 470. I think I've got all that right. Bye-bye.